This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, State Senator John Udicak is here to tell us what's happening with the budget in Harrisburg. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for watching us on SSPTV and SSPTV.com and in HD on Service Electric Cablevision, Channel 513. I am Ken Kerr, and I have your local headlines from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. A Girardville man died after both he and his wife were rescued from a fire in their home this morning. Firefighters responded to the double home on East Monoy Avenue around 7 this morning. According to the Republican Herald, Edward Willis died from injuries he sustained. His wife was also taken to the hospital. Residents of the adjacent home made it out safely. A kindergarten student walked out of the Arthur Street School in Hazleton on Thursday. The child was found safe by police on East Diamond Avenue heading toward her home. District Superintendent Dr. Craig Butler says doors at the schools must be able to be opened from the inside because of the fire code. The district is looking at ways to prevent this from happening again.
Obviously, our budget doesn't allow for the manpower to post someone at every door in every building. But to consider perhaps buzzers or alarms where someone, such as a student who shouldn't be leaving the building, particularly at that age, of course, without permission or without a trusted adult, that would signal that immediately. In addition to that, we're reinforcing with our students continually the fact that to leave the building at any time is absolutely and strictly prohibited.
Butler says he did speak to the mother of the child and that she was concerned but understood that the school district did the best they could in the situation. She did offer suggestions that the Hazleton Area School Board will consider moving forward. The budget batter, Hazleton's newly appointed interim police chief, will take time off from his current job as police director in Paterson, New Jersey, to help Mayor Jeff Cassat implement his plans for the city police department. Jerry Spezial will serve as interim chief for 90 to 120 days to allow Cassat the time to draft qualifications for a new permanent chief. While the time frame is not set in stone, Cassat told our media partner, the Standard Speaker, that it sets a goal for when the city will advertise for the position. Well, the budget battle continues in Harrisburg. Our Lisa Sugart sat down with Senator John Udicak to get the latest.
Well, we do not have a complete comprehensive budget. The governor signed the budget, which was a Republican budget, passed earlier in the year, back in late June, early July, a $30.2 billion budget, but the governor blue lined many of the items in the budget, including completely zeroing out higher education institutions like our state-related universities, Penn State, Pitt, Temple, and Lincoln. School districts, the good news part of it was school districts, the majority of their funding was driven out. 6 months of their funding for the fiscal year will be, so clearly there was an opportunity where schools were going to close and not come back after the holiday, after the Christmas holiday, that on January 3rd there would have been many schools across Pennsylvania that didn't open. So the good news is we didn't have that crisis. But again, this is our manufactured crisis. We have a responsibility to govern, to put aside our ideological differences, Democrat and Republican, and function. We are not functioning in Harrisburg today. We need to fund a comprehensive budget. I'm hoping that leaders in both chambers and the governor can get to the table and we can put together a responsible budget that invests in education, that cuts property taxes, reforms our corporate tax structure so that we can create jobs. When we're creating jobs in Pennsylvania, we don't have money problems in Harrisburg. We need to get back to the business of creating jobs, investing in those things, infrastructure, education, all of those things that help us create jobs in Pennsylvania.
As a senator, you must get a lot of outcry from the public because this is impacting everybody in many ways, some in more than one way. So what have been the, what has the tension been like when you talk to people? Because I'm sure they're disgusted and frustrated.
No, I share their frustration, and we are frustrated together. And I've tried to reach out and explain my perspective on where things stand in the budget. And I think people recognize I've built a 20-year career on working with the other side of the aisle, working with Republicans, whether it's Representative Toohill and Congressman Barletta here in Greater Hazleton, or with my colleagues from across the state. I think we've demonstrated that we know how to get things done when you have divided government. We have divided government. That is the problem here. You have a governor that was elected and believes he earned a mandate. and you have a Republican majorities in both the House and the Senate that got elected and believe they earned a mandate. There are no mandates. We have a responsibility to govern. And so hopefully Democrats, Republicans, the governor, the General Assembly can put those differences aside, and we can finally pass a comprehensive budget. The sad news is, in February, just a few short weeks from now, the governor will be giving his second budget address without the first budget being done.
Thanks, Lisa. Now, you can hear much more about the budget when Senator Udicak joins Sam Lasant for a special Sam Lasant show. Tune in tomorrow morning at 9 and 11:30 a.m. and also at 1:30, 5:30, and 8 p.m. right here on SSPTV. It was a popular movie, and now you can see The Wedding Singer live on stage starting tonight at the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts. The musical focuses on rock star wannabe Robbie Hart, New Jersey's favorite wedding singer, and how his life of the party status changes after his own fiancée leaves him at the altar. He then falls in love with Julia Gulia. That's funny. The curtain goes up tonight at 7 p.m. with additional performances this weekend and next at the PTPA at the J.J. Farrar Center on West Broad Street in Hazleton. You can choose the show or dinner and the show. Tickets are going fast. Call 570-454-5451 or you can log on to ptpashows.org. Coming up next, we'll tell you about a benefit that's taking place in our area, and we have the 2016 debut of Adopt Me from the Hazleton Animal Shelter. And in sports, we'll talk with 1,000-point scorer Mackenzie Urey from the Hazleton area Lady Cougars.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
I'm pleased to be joined by a nice crowd of people here today, all for a wonderful cause. It is the Filthy Phil Support Benefit. And while the name might seem funny, it's a really good cause to help out a wonderful man who was in a serious automobile accident. Jerry Sidlow is the sister-in-law of that man, Phil Craigle, who was in the accident. Jerry, some tough times for your family, for your brother-in-law, because it was a very serious accident.
Absolutely. Today marks the second month of his severe accident. Phil is suffering with severe spinal cord injuries. He is in a rehabilitation place now. He takes 4 steps forward, 1 back. It's a long process. Amongst us are friends of Phil's. They're his brothers. They've known Phil a very long time, and they came together to help with getting the benefit, to help with medical expenses or anything my family might need. The benefit's going to be at the Tresco Fire Hall on January 16th from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. We're looking for tricky trays and donations, and any help involved, whether it be helping with the food. There's going to be a lot of bands there, a tattoo artist, leather, homemade making of leather, bands, food.
And I'm pleased to say that Donald Hill is here, the president of the Flying Aces Motorcycle Club from Rockport. He's been here many times over the years, and always to help somebody out. And you and your friends here, you have some guys from some other clubs as well with you. Tell us who's here today.
It's John from the Apostles. They're helping us out too, and also Iron Hog is a big part of this too. We all got together and decided to do something for Phil.
Well, I said it was funny that the name of the fundraiser is the Filthy Phil Support Benefit, and Jerry said that's his nickname, so that's why they're calling it Filthy Phil. Why did you guys want to help?
Well, you know, the club helps a lot of people out, but this time it really touched home. We've known Phil for 30 years, and Phil always went out to help anybody else out, and so it's time for him to get helped out, and we're here to do that for him.
Now, you're looking for donations, as Jerry said, so people can... Food, can they do food for you guys?
Yeah,
Time, tricky trays?
Food, tricky trays. We're having a basket of cheer. If somebody wanted to donate a bottle of liquor or something like that, it could be dropped off at the Flying Aces or at Iron Hog Cycles on 15th Street.
All righty. guys are always involved in helping out the community, so this is really a wonderful cause to help a man who is really trying to get through a difficult time in his life. Again, it's to benefit Phil Craigle. It's taking place Saturday, January 16th at the Tresco Fire Company, 26 East Oak Street in Tresco from 2 p.m. until midnight. Please come out, and if they want to call and they want to help, is there a phone number they can call before we leave?
They could call my, excuse me, they could call my cell phone, 570-861-2022.
Okay, if you want to help or you have questions or you want to make a donation to help out Phil's cause, please do so.
And one thing, that it's on Facebook. Jimmy Perchak has a thing on there, and they could get in touch with him too. But it's on Facebook, the benefit and everything.
All right, again, it is the Filthy Phil Support Benefit. Please help Phil recover from his automobile injuries.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
This is the Duplin building standing out in the cold in the city of Hazleton on Friday. Here's our local forecast now from the National Weather Service tonight. Rain likely mainly between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. and patchy fog after 7 p.m. It will be a cloudy night with a low around 33 degrees, wind around 10 miles per hour. 4-day outlook for our weekend, a chance of rain on Saturday, patchy fog before 10 a.m., cloudy day with a high near 40 degrees. Saturday night, rain mainly after 1 a.m. Our low will be 39 degrees. It will be breezy with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour possible. Sunday, expect more rain mainly before 1 p.m. High near 49 degrees. Wind gusts could get as high as 37 miles per hour on Sunday. Sunday night, mostly cloudy with a low of 21. Again, it will be breezy, windy. Wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour possible. On Monday, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-20s. Monday night, partly cloudy, low of 15 degrees. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 28. Tuesday night, 30% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy with a low of 18 degrees. You probably won't care about the weather if you hit the $800 million Powerball jackpot this weekend. Right now, here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers on the green screen on FYI. Pick 2, 1, 1. Pick 3, 3, 6, 3. Pick 4, 3, 5, 1, 3. Pick 5, 8, 7, 4, 4, 3. All right, let's meet Carmine the cat in Adopt Me.
Hello again, here I have with me Llewellyn. Llewellyn is a Welsh Corgi mixed possibly with a Border Collie or even a miniature Australian Shepherd. As you can see, he's very playful and energetic, loves to be held, and is extremely affectionate with people. We're not sure what he's like with other dogs or animals, but as always, we recommend doing a meet and greet with your own dog if you're considering adopting. Although he is a smaller dog, he does have a lot of energy, and we do recommend an experienced dog owner for adoption. Given his coat, he might need a moderate amount of grooming, so we recommend somebody who's used to longer-haired dogs as well. That's it for this week's dog. Let's have a look at our cats. And here I have with me Carmine. Carmine is one of the newest additions to our female colony up here, although he is a neutered male. He's spending his first few days in the female colony in order to adjust before we send him back with the boys. Carmine is tested for feline leukemia and FIV and came up negative for both. He's also received his basic vaccinations, including rabies and feline distemper. Although very affectionate and loving to be petted and played with, Carmine is not crazy about being held, so we wouldn't necessarily recommend him for a household with smaller children, given the fact they do love to pick up and play with animals. That's it for today. If anybody is interested in Llewellyn, Carmine, or any of the other animals we have up for adoption, please come on down to the Hazleton Animal Shelter at 101 North Poplar Street.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
You know, I scored 1,000 points in basketball once using the Bill Clinton code on NBA Jam on Sega Genesis. ARK Start A was the code, and Mr. President never missed a three. I could tell you more about my NBA Jam days, but the story of Mackenzie Uri scoring 1,000 points for the Lady Cougars is much, much more interesting. It was the final home game of the year for the Hazleton area Lady Cougars in the 2013-14 season. Crestwood was trying to wrap up a conference championship on their rivals' court, but a new star emerged on senior night for the Big HA, and the Lady Cougars forced the Lady Comets to postpone their celebration. Then sophomore Mackenzie Uri posted 40 points in the Hazleton area victory. Since then, Yuri's name has been a constant in local newspapers the day after a Lady Cougar game. Long after those papers turn yellow and the online articles are archived and you have to pay $1.50 to view them, Yuri's name will continue to hang over the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium. Earlier this week, Yuri became the 8th member of the Lady Cougars 1,000-point club.
It's an honor. It's just an amazing feeling. I've had that dream ever since I was so tiny. It's just an amazing feeling to finally reach that top goal that I had since I was a little girl.
I think I've seen them all. I've seen them all. Okay. Every single one has played for us there, and she's as good as any of them. What she does, 5'3", 5'4", and never thought she'd be a scorer. Like 1,000 is hard to get. She had 40 here. She holds the record. There's a couple of games. So she could have had the overall record. We were freezing that game with 3 minutes to go because I was scared of the team.
Let's go back to 2014 and our first post-game interview with Yuri. Listen closely.
Before the game, I was feeling it in practice, and during the game, I stayed focused, and I just took it when I was open. My teammates got me the ball.
Yuri is always talking about the team, and it's not just post-game player speak.
I mean, I don't think I could ask for a better point guard. She's always there. She dishes to everybody. She's not just in it for herself like some point guards are.
Yuri's story is a great story, and I'm sure she would love to write a happy ending with back-to-back conference championships. But it's going to be a challenge breaking out the ladder again this season. Yuri is going to have to get by with more help from her friends, as opposing teams are keying in on her as they try to pop Hazelton area's balloon.
It's getting tougher and tougher, and she's starting to realize that you need your teammates. I mean, you really do, because they're ganging up on her. Like, she's getting a little bit frustrated. No, let the game come to you. Don't worry. It's a full game. It's a full game. And when she listen, you give her an inch, but they're not giving her nothing. I mean, poor kid is not getting nothing. They're double teaming. Their one team is playing a boxing one. They're trying to take her out. That's where the other team members got to loosen that up and say, okay, you can take her out. We're up 10 points. You can do whatever you want. We'll beat you by 25. It doesn't matter. And that's what you have to do.
The 2015 Lady Cougars are starting to gel, and more players are starting to step up. And as for Yuri, she's fighting and still leading her offense. She's been Hazelton area's leading scorer in both of their conference games so far this season.
Mackenzie's Mackenzie. You will not find a nicer kid. You won't find someone who wants to win. You won't find, you're happy for her. Anything she does, you're happy for her.
For years to come, Yuri's name will be displayed at the Huey McGeehan Gymnasium. It will serve as a reminder of what she was able to accomplish and as inspiration to the next little girl with the dream of scoring 1,000 points. It's a big weekend of local sports as the Lady Cougars will play Crestwood tonight, and the boys teams, they will play on Saturday. Big rivalry there. Let's get to the FYI Standard Speakers scoreboard. Mike Joseph won his 200th game as the Cougars head coach. Hazelton area came back for a big win on the road against Wyoming Valley West. And there was a big-time showdown between two unbeaten teams last night. The Marion Phillies suffered their first loss of the season to Minersville in a Schuylkill League crossover game. Minersville is ranked in the top 5 in the state in the Harrisburg Patriot News AA rankings. Right in front of them at number 4, the Holy Redeemer Lady Royals, who will play Marion on Saturday. In other Schuylkill League games, North Schuylkill beat Tamaqua, and Shenandoah Valley went to overtime for a comeback win over Tri-Valley. Freshman Emily DeMollis had the game-winning shot. Monoy area, they dropped one to Lords Regional, and Northwest beat MMI. Finally, Pottsville got a poolside sweep of Monoy area in a Schuylkill League meet. Ron Marchetti came in today with a pipe. He either had a problem with our Andy Fisher picking the Packers over the Redskins, or he's going to talk about plumbing. Let's find out.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to our first Short Shots of the year on this 1/8/16. Winter has showed up late this year, but frozen pipes have showed up early. We are not quite there yet, but we are getting close to the pencil-thick overnights. I would think by now all outside spigots are turned off on the inside and open on the outside, and all outside hoses are disconnected. If not, Mother of God, put away at least $100 for your friendly local plumber who'll be glad to see you in late April or early May to replace your frost-free hydrant. Till then, have a nice winter. 10-0 and 10-0 clashed last night in hometown. That would be the Lady Battling Miners of Minersville and the Phillies of Marion Catholic. That game turned out to be a blowout. Minersville mauled Marion in every phase of the game, winning by 34, 53-19. Ouch! On Tuesday, the Hazelton area Cougars defeated Dallas by 31 at home and Wyoming Valley West last night by 33 on the road. 66. Bobby Planutis, Dante Biazzi, Jeff Planutis, and Michael Casadas had 29, 16, 12, and 11. The Cougars are 7-3. Also this week, the Lady Cougars of Hazleton area lost to Dallas by 3 before pounding Wyoming Valley West by 16. Mackenzie Yorey picked up 35 points in both games, including her 1,000th career point. The Marion boys beat Mifflinburg by 9. John Waco led the way with 17, including 8 for 8 on the foul line. The Worthley boys are 2-7, and the Lady Wreckers are 6-4. MMI lost a 2-point squeaker to Wyoming Sam on Wednesday night. Flanagan's Fairnuts are 4-6. Same night, Hazelton area. Mattman pinned Wyoming Valley West. What else? 7-6 Penn State and 10-3 Notre Dame both lost their bowl games. Penn State quarterback Christian Hackenberg declared himself eligible for the NFL draft, and so did wideout Notre Dame Michaels Fuller. New York Giants coach Tom Coughlin resigned. Eagles coach Chip Kelly was fired, and so was Tampa Bay coach Lovie Smith. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Piazzi were elected into baseball's Hall of Fame, and that's the way it was in the last 7 days. And this is the way it will be in the next 2 days. Pro football playoffs, wild card weekend tomorrow. Kansas City at Houston, 4 p.m., and Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, 8 p.m. Then on Sunday, Seattle at Minnesota, 1 p.m., followed by Green Bay and Washington at 4:30 p.m. Enjoy. See you Monday. Till then, be a good sport and stay loose.
Be happy, it's Friday, and go to Bottlenecks for half-price happy hour starting at 6 p.m. They have live music and half-price appetizers.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news first. Tonight, congratulations to Robbie and Nicole on the birth of their son, Jackson. Love from your family and friends. Our next announcement, happy birthday to Jackson's aunt, Kristen Marquez. Love from your family and friends. In our Talk of the Town report, Christ Lutheran Church, located on Main Street in Cunningham, will be holding their annual Super Bowl soup sale on Saturday, January 30th. Pickup will be available from noon to 2 p.m. with 14 different soup varieties. All proceeds benefit local charities. For more info or to order, just call 570-788-5372. And finally, the Greater Hazleton Ministerium will be sponsoring a Prayer for Christian Unity event at St. John Byzantine Church. The event will be held Sunday, January 24th at 3 p.m. The church is located on East 20th Street in Hazleton, and a social with refreshments will follow. For more info, just call 570-454-1142. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of Sado Lisbinski of Drums. Funeral is Tuesday at noon at the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 11 a.m. to noon. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Kathy Wallace of Hazel Township. Kathy, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Thanks again for watching FYI. If you missed anything this week, go to SSPTV.com. We have our newscast all archived there. Thank you again. We'll see you on Monday. Take it easy, everyone.